a trip to Insanity Island.
Oh,
We're back.
oh,
We are
are we
recording.
recording? Oh, another episode of
It is time on
Insanity Island. It's
Kraftwerk. We are Kraftwerk.
Okay, and this is where we discuss every week the hot topics of the day. It is November 28th, 2022, and in this week's podcast, we will be discussing Disney's wokeness. Okay, we will be discussing Alyssa Milano's latest tweet against Elon Musk. We will be discussing they're still counting. We will be discussing Trump deems Kanye West a seriously troubled man and early voting in Georgia. Okay, Chris.
But first, remember to hit that like button, hit all the ding buttons, do the YouTube thing, do the subscription deal, pass our video on to your friends, because that's how we feed the poor.
That's right. That's right. Okay, now, Disney's wokeness. Okay, apparently Disney has spent like $185 million on their latest movie, and it's just been a complete and utter flop. Chris, you want to expand?
Yes, Tim, it's a movie called Strange World. And it is a strange world when Disney takes like $185 million and lights it on fire. It kind of reminds me of that scene in Dark Knight where the Joker was sitting on all that money and he just lit it up. Don't worry, it's only my half. Remember that? Yeah, Disney just did that.
Wow.
They just said, you know what? We have too much money.
Yeah, and Disney's stock has like tumbled big time. I think it's down like 40% this year.
Well, that's because they keep making cartoons about where kids like to touch their pee-pees, and they really should quit doing that.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Now,
they said people were walking out of the theaters.
Their first mistake this year was going to war against the governor of Florida because Ron DeSantis wanted to keep pedophilia out of elementary schools. And apparently,
whoa. Hey, I thought it was the Don't Say Gay bill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, don't say gay. Around 6-year-olds. Yeah. Okay, so apparently Disney had a cow about it. Ron DeSantis was like, okay, I'm not afraid to take you on. And you know what? Disney is a large employer in the state of Florida. Yes, they are. But you know what? Good for Ron DeSantis for standing up against wokeness. I mean, we're talking about keeping, sexual discussions out of a 6-year-old's classroom. You would think that would be completely normal.
I don't think you get it. Look, people like Amy Schumer, those kind of people, they have to talk to little children about their pee-pees.
Oh my gosh.
They just can't not do it. And if you don't let them do that, you're a phobe on everything.
Yeah.
You're an ist and a phobe.
It's truly.
They feel compelled. They have to talk to little kids about sex.
This is going to hurt Disney. I mean, Disney's supposed to be about kids, children's entertainment. We all think of Disney, Cinderella, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, all these cartoons and, amusement parks for kids. They're taking a very dangerous turn with this wokeness attitude, and not just general wokeness, but just getting sexual around children. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just like, that's going to turn a lot of parents off Disney.
I have never seen a Disney cartoon that showed young teens or little kids expressing any kind of sexual anything before. It's not like, well, what about all those straight movies? No, those straight movies were adults in adult relationships. I don't remember seeing little kids in Disney movies trying to have sex with each other when they're little kids. I don't remember any of that. So why are they doing the gay thing with the little kids now? Why do they feel compelled to do that? I have a theory about this. I think they're a bunch of freaking pedophiles, and this is the beginning of it, and they will eventually start pushing for the normalcy of pedophilia.
Well,
Because they always
You know-
take it too far. They always do this. That's their
It's
MO.
interesting-
That's what they do.
it's interesting to bring that up. There always seems to be a little bit of an undertone of the pedophilia thing with Democrats. For some reason, there seems to be an undertone of
Oh, why is that?
Pizzagate. Remember?
Yeah.
It's just like they want to embrace embracing that though is a big mistake. I mean, embracing that is
Yeah, that's not going to work.
it's not going to work. People aren't going to stand for it. Let's move on. Okay,
Hey,
Alyssa.
real quick. That is the one topic that will get the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims all together on one side.
Yeah,
That's kind of a big part of the population to piss off.
yeah, that's true. Okay, so Alyssa Milano. Okay, big movie star. She used to be. She's kind of a has been.
She was never a big movie star. She
was
had a
a
TV
decent
show.
star.
No, she had a TV show when she was a little kid. And then she did some commercials. And then she did some B movies that nobody ever watched, where she had a lot of sex in them. Then she had a reputation for having a lot of sex. She got 2 abortions because they got in the way of her career, man. Those things had to go into the trash. Okay. Then she did Charmed, and that was successful. Still a TV show. She's not an A-list actress. She's kind of a D-list activist.
There you go, a D-list activist. That's a good way to describe her. So anyway, she gets a lot of attention in the media. So she came out with this tweet that said she's so appalled and disgusted with Elon Musk buying Twitter and making it more of a free speech platform that she's going to now sell her Tesla and buy a electric VW instead. Not knowing her history, Chris, you want to elaborate on the history of VW?
Go Hitler.
Exactly.
Way to
VW
not
was founded
yourself,
by
you
the
stupid cow.
Nazis and Hitler. It was a Hitler-founded company, or Hitler kind of helped. It was a state-funded company. It was a state-funded company by the Nazis.
She has
And that's
responded.
the company she's it so accurately speaks to the hypocrisy of it all, doesn't it now? Doesn't it now? Attacking an American genius like Elon Musk, wanting to protect free speech, she swings over and supports a Nazi-sponsored company. I mean, isn't that just the ultimate of ironies?
She's an idiot. She's just silly. There's all these, you see all the tweets of her worshiping the guy just a few months ago. And like, if I could have dinner with any 2 people in the world in history, it would be Jesus and Elon Musk.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, that's what she said. She had tons of them, tons just like that. But now, because he is allowing free speech, he's the devil and needs to die. I mean, that's how these people think. It's like they're just brainwashed to believe what they're told to believe. It's almost like she gets a fax every day to tell her what she's supposed to believe, and she doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, today I hate Elon. That darn Elon, I sure hate him. I'm going to go get a Hitler car.
Yep.
Because
So,
he's evil.
It's
And she tried to
interesting.
respond. She tried to respond by saying, well, that's different because that was then, this is now, blah, blah, blah. No, the bottom, look at your tweets from a few months ago. Look, the bottom line is the guy who created, you're able to separate yourself from the maker, the original maker of the car, the Volkswagen. You'll do that, but you won't get the best electric car. I thought you cared about the environment. Thought you cared.
Oh, exactly. So, it's interesting. Elon Musk, a year ago, and probably for the past, 15 years, whenever you founded Tesla, the first major electric car manufacturer, Elon Musk was the darling
Of the
of
left.
the liberal
Oh, they loved him.
establishment. I mean, they could not get enough of this guy. I mean, he was hailed as a genius. He's so smart. He's so caring. Elon Musk is such a great leader, such a great person. I mean, this is all you heard. And
Some
it's not
people
like
thought
people
he
on
was
the
on
right
the track
dislike the guy.
turn.
It's not like people from the right dislike the guy. I mean, he was, an interesting guy. Suddenly with this Twitter acquisition, he has become hated. And it's an interesting parallel, don't you think, Chris? I'd like to see if you agree with it.
Company.
Donald Trump, prior to 2015, was a media darling, was he not?
Okay.
I mean, do you find an interesting parallel between Elon, the hatred, the new hatred of Elon Musk and Donald Trump? Do you find that an interesting parallel?
No, I've seen it ever since I've been in politics. You remember the Reagan thing, don't you? I mean, he's an idiot, he's dumb, he's stupid, he's a cowboy, blah 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 blah. He's gonna start World War III. He can't talk to the Russians. He's a demon. He's satanic. He's the devil. He's Hitler. He's a Klansman. He sure likes him some slaves. Blah blah blah. That was my first. Yeah, well, they hated Reagan, and then they hated Bush, and then they hated the other Bush, and then they hated Rush Limbaugh, and then they just hate anybody that slightly disagrees with anything that they have to say. If you slightly disagree with them, you're the devil.
The hatred from the left to the right really got a snowball effect with Nixon. He was the first, and
he was really just in the middle kind
actually
of guy.
It was McCarthy. McCarthy was the first. Joseph McCarthy was the first. But it really snowballed into we all have to hate. It really snowballed into Nixon, and it just kept on going. It just kept on going.
How the people like oh God, what's his name? Neil Young and who was the female artist? We're going to quit Spotify because Joe Rogan's on here. Who was that? Joni Mitchell.
Oh, okay, yeah.
These were the same exact people bitching and saying how evil McCarthy was in the 50s for blackmailing, for blacklisting people. And here they are doing it now against people they disagree with.
Cancel culture.
Yeah, did they not see the irony of that? In other words, their argument back then was even if they are communists, even if they want to destroy America, they should have a right to their feelings and their thoughts and blah blah blah. That was their argument back then. Today, it's if you disagree with me, we're going to show the mob where you live and have you killed.
Yeah, pretty. It kind of sounds like what the brown shirts did in the late 30s.
Exactly
now, doesn't
what
it?
brown shirts did
In Germany, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you disagree with
them,
them,
they're the biggest fascists on the planet.
These
are the biggest fascists there has ever been. Because now, I mean, you can like Alyssa Milano. She's smart in one way, kind of. She's on the left, and she knows that no matter what the left says, she has to do. She has to completely agree with whatever they tell her. Like, oh, I have to hate Elon today? Okay, well, I'll hate the hell out of him. Matter of fact, let me get rid of my Tesla, even though it's the best one for the environment. Screw the environment because I'm trying to virtue signal here. So let me go get my Hitler car, and I'll pack a couple of Jews in that sucker, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
But hey, she got to virtue signal, so it's okay.
That's right. The whole virtue signaling thing. That's right. It was all about virtue signaling for her while she's had, multiple abortions.
Yeah.
It's like they try to point out that person's evil. That person's evil. Chris, you are an evil white man. But yet they look at their own actions and everything they do is okay.
She murdered 2 of her children and threw them into the trash because they were slightly inconvenient.
I mean,
she already had money. She was already successful. She didn't have to not have those babies. There was no excuse for that. I mean, they got in the way of what career? You did 2 bad movies. What career were you talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't get in the way. You just had two different abortions by 2 different dudes.
Yeah.
You were a whore, and you wanted to be evil.
They criticize Christianity because they say that Christians and Christianity in general is a judgmental religion, right? That's the first thing they go to is that, oh, Christians are so judgmental. But yet, what are they? What are they? I mean, when they judge Elon Musk or Donald Trump or anybody,
Actually,
what is
it
that
goes to
to them?
it
What
goes
does
it
that
goes
mean?
to show.
What is virtue signaling after all? It's a
Okay.
form of judgment, is it not?
Yeah, but Tim, it goes to show that they don't even know anything about the Christian religion. Yes, Christians judge people all the time. We shouldn't. We're not supposed to, because Jesus told us not to do that. Which means
True.
they don't know what they're talking about when they put down Christianity. They can put Christians down all they want. That's fine. I agree. There's a lot of hypocritical Christians. But Jesus told people to not do that. Hey, whoever did it, throw the first stone. Are you going to put your stones down now? In other words,
That's right.
who the hell are you to judge this person? When you got a big,
That's right.
got a big rock in your own eye, but you're going to talk about the splinter in there? How the hell with you? So what they're not getting is it's the one religion that tells you not to judge other people.
Exactly. I mean, it's the whole foundation of Christianity was not to judge others, but to love each other no matter what. I mean, that's
Yep.
the whole foundation. That's the whole principle of it. And I just find it so ironic. Okay, so next topic, still counting. Are we still counting the votes?
Well, there's a lot of people out there that they're still in remedial math, and they just don't know how to count properly. They're now using a color chart and doing it by twos because they're so stupid they can't figure out how to count single colored multiple digit things. We're never going to be done with the election until the next election. So the only good thing about that is nobody will be in power, and that's good. So
okay, well, gridlock. Okay, so Donald Trump had some words to say about Kanye West recently.
whoa! You talking about Ye?
Yayo. So Donald Trump apparently Kanye West is a member of that Mar-a-Lago club in Florida, and Kanye West was eating there, and apparently Donald Trump and Kanye ended up at the same table for a while, and they had a discussion.
Well, they know each other.
They had a discussion. They know each other, and that's fine. It's great, But Trump came out and said publicly that he called Kanye West a, quote, seriously troubled man.
Well, he is. Dude's out of his mind.
Yeah.
You talk about somebody who could not handle fame, it's him.
Yeah. Boy,
Or
he really put his foot in his mouth. He was actually gaining a little bit of traction. I mean, he had that pretty extensive interview on Tucker Carlson. I think it was like an hour or maybe even a 2-hour interview. And a week after that is when he said he's going to come out against Jewish people or something to that effect. It was very anti-Semitic sounding.
well, doesn't he think he's one of those black Israelites or whatever, those ones that hate the Jews and they cuss people out and scream at them? Remember the Catholic kids? Remember those black people that were yelling at him? And the Indian had the drum in his face?
Yes.
Those were black Israelites. They were cussing the kids out. That's what they do. They cuss people out and yell at them and scream at them and stuff.
Okay.
They consider themselves the real Jews. They're not, but they consider themselves that.
Okay.
Is that what he's doing? Does he think he's
I don't know. No. Kanye came out with a tweet or a statement or something about the Jews are next on my list or something to that effect, that he was going to start, I don't know what, but some sort of attack or criticism or something of Jewish people. It was not well received. It was not a very smart thing to say. I mean, he's been dropped by pretty much most all of his business partners now as a result of that statement. And he's been attacked by all sides of the media, the left,
I'll
the
tell
right.
you who I'm disappointed in, though, is Candace Owens. She needs
Yeah?
to, yeah.
Why is that?
She's defending him too much. It's almost like she sounds like she's.
Well, she just had that picture with him. That's the other thing. There was that
That was
picture.
before all that.
Kanye and Candace had a picture of the.
Yeah, but that was before. That was
white
before. That was before the Jewish.
Yeah, it was
stuff.
before. It was before.
It's just that she's defending him so much. That
Is it possible
like
that the statement was taken out of context? Is that possible?
she almost lost her job at the Daily Wire?
Wow.
Yeah, it was like her and Ben Shapiro were getting into it a little bit behind the scenes.
Uh-oh.
And Ben was like, well, she's defending her friend, so that's okay. But if she had said those things, she wouldn't be working at the Daily Wire anymore.
Interesting.
And she keeps
boy.
defending him, almost like she's defending him too much. It's like, stop.
Well, maybe it's possible, and we don't know until we take a deeper dive of this. It was taken out of context. Who knows? But it certainly on the surface looks terrible. Okay, next topic. We got early voting in Georgia. Just started today for the United States Senate. This is to tie the Senate 50-50, a very important race. The results.
Yeah, but hold on. Whoa. Why does it matter now?
Well, because there's still one or two moderate Democrats. You got the West Virginia senator who's a Democrat, but he votes Republican a decent amount of time, and I think there might be one other. So yeah, it does kind of matter. It does kind of matter.
Yeah, it's depressing.
You don't think it matters much?
I mean, Manchin eventually gave him what he wanted.
True.
They all, what's Gillibrand? Didn't she vote for that crap too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
but the next thing that comes around, maybe he won't vote for it. Like a big tax increase. The bottom line is, it would be nice. It would be nice for the Republicans to have this Senate seat, correct?
Well, plus I would love to have Warnock gone, and I'd love to have Herschel Walker in there, just because it would piss them off, just to make them angry.
This is a pretty important race, and December the 6th, I believe, is the final day to vote. So we should have the results, I don't know, sometime in April of 2024.
Yeah, around the time of the next election.
Yeah, they'll still be counting.
Still be counting.
But the polls have it a dead heat.
Yeah, I'm just so depressed about all that. I don't have any faith in our country anymore. I'm dead. We suck.
Well, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Okay. All right. Under our lifestyle and culture. Yeah. Under our lifestyle and culture section, I have a little thing for us to discuss. Okay.
Okay.
And these are two kind of things, but they're related. They're related. How has virtue signaling and the cancel culture, how have those things shaped the way we view things, and how has it shaped the way we can talk about things?
Well, it's shaped it where we can't. That's how, which kind of answers your question of the other part. Right now, we're in limbo, and if you say the wrong thing, you're going to get doxxed, probably by Taylor Lorenz, and she'll come to your house and show everybody where you live with cameras and microphones. And next thing you know, you'll have people, camped outside your house throwing things at your windows because you don't agree with them on something. I mean, you can't step the line at all. Alyssa Milano is perfect for them because
it's a great example.
She will not. If it's left, she's on that side, right or wrong. Killing babies doesn't matter. War. She's probably. I guarantee. She is. She's for the war in the Ukraine. I bet she has no idea what it's about, or what anything. She's just war in Ukraine. When were y'all for war?
All of a sudden, they're pro-war, and because there's a lot of corruption over there going on, and they seem to embrace corruption.
I mean, it's unbelievable, dude. J.K. Rowling, she's a leftist. She agreed with him on everything. She disagreed with one tiny thing, and she was completely accurate that transgender women do not go through the same exact trials that a biological woman goes through in life. We all know that's true because a transgender woman is still 40% stronger in her upper body strength and can pick up a biological woman and throw her. So, yeah, I mean, she's for transgender people. She's a big lefty, but because she thinks that one
They
damn
cancel.
fact,
They can't.
she's canceled. They hate her. They want her to die. She's Satan, all this evil stuff. The little brats that made it big in her movie are all against her. I hope their careers tank. I hope their careers tank.
Unbelievable.
If it wasn't for her, they wouldn't have anything.
Chris, you actually made a brilliant analogy when you compared the cancel culture to the McCarthyism of the 1950s, which is blacklisting. So how is it any different?
It's not. It's the exact same thing. Except in McCarthy's situation, turned out he was right.
He was right.
Everything he said was true. I mean, think about what he said. He said the communists in their manifesto have told us they will destroy us from within by infiltrating our media, our education system, and our entertainment.
And the federal government.
Well, yeah, of course that, but
Right.
you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
These are all private sector things that they're just going to go in and take over. They're going to take over Hollywood. They're going to take over the media. The media is how we get our information. And let's see, what was the other thing? Media. Oh,
Okay. The schools, the education system.
right. Education, Hollywood, and the media. Those three things. You get those three things, it's done. Well,
And
that was in the 50s. Look where
It's
we're at
pretty
right
much
now.
there. It's pretty much there. And I'm going to add one other thing that is suddenly becoming a very large thing. And I don't know if you have. I need to do some more research on it myself. Maybe we can talk about this more, expand on this next week. But the ESG compliance in these corporations, and the ESG is the environmental, social, and governance. Okay, it used to be like 10, 15 years ago.
Let me take a guess. Does that mean you're going to be judging me as an employee on how much energy I use in my car and shit like that?
Yes, everything. So it
Wow.
started off. Let me tell you how it started off. It started
Wow,
off.
that's evil.
Well, it started off as there were some investors out there that wanted to only invest in, quote, socially responsible and environmentally friendly companies. Okay, it kind of started off like that. Suddenly, it's become the SEC, which is the governing body of all publicly traded companies. The SEC is the a regulatory body.
Yeah, the Exchange Commission.
The Securities Exchange Commission, exactly. So you kind of have to do what they say. When they come out with something, if you're a public traded company, you have to comply with it. Well, they have now come out with their own version of ESG. So virtually every publicly traded company now has embraced this because they feel like, well, if we're left off this list, investors will sell our stock and will make the stock go down. So we all need to do this ESG thing. It has taken over, and that's why you see a lot of quote wokeness among all these corporations. So it's also expanded to large corporations now. So the media, okay, the education, the entertainment industry, and the fourth is the big companies. Look at Disney. I mean, Disney's supposed to be children's cartoons, and they're talking about all this stuff that doesn't even matter. So the bottom line is, it's going even beyond. I mean, it's now taken over the private sector as well in the form of these large publicly traded corporations.
Well, I think it's very important that those people get to talk about children's PPs. And I think it means a lot to them. And I mean, some of them go stark raving mad if they don't get to discuss little children's sex organs. I personally think it's a little weird, if you ask me, but
it's awful. Well, it's awful. But the ESG thing is a little scary. I mean, you're talking about like Big Brother. I mean, you got Big Brother in the government. Now we have Big Brother in the corporations. I mean, environmental is, clean water, clean, but the social and the governance, I mean, that pretty much encompasses anything they want it to be, right? Okay, the color blue is now racist. I mean, it's like they can just declare something as racist or bad or not socially acceptable, and that's what it is. And you have to act that way at your job, and you could be fired, okay, if you're not ESG compliant. So, I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah, but can't that change it on a whim? Can't the new administration just come in and change it?
No, the SEC has made it where there are certain rules to it now. And
no.
Law, but it's getting there. It's approaching there is my point.
Well, yeah, but rules can be changed. Depends on who's running.
Rules can be changed. But my point is that the ESG, they've made it part of the private sector now through ESG. That's my point. They're getting their tentacles all over everything. So the bottom line is where I'm trying to go with all of this. What is their master objective? What is it that they want us to become? What, in my mind, I think it's just socialism. It's just all of this stuff: virtue signaling, cancel culture, ESG. It's just always trying to march us towards socialism and just turn up the heat just a little bit every day. So it's like that frog in that boiling pot of water. He doesn't know he's being cooked until all of a sudden, wow, this water's boiling, I'm dead. I mean, is their objective a slow boil into socialism, or what do you think their main objective is here?
See, that's why you and I a bunch of years ago were looking at the pot going, they're going to boil us in that, aren't they? We knew this back then, before we even got in the pot. That pot's going to boil us. Oh, look, that pot's called the Democratic Party. It's all about power, dude. Every single thing they do is about power. They don't have any morals. They don't have any scruples. They don't care about our freaking democracy. I love that. Have you ever noticed how, we have to save our precious democracy? You mean the one you were trying to burn down over the summer? Or the one that,
right, exactly.
The one that you claim is built on slavery? By the way, if our country was completely built, if it was built at all on slavery, it would have dissolved when slavery was put out of business. But nothing happened. We went right on through because we weren't built on slavery. There were some people that had slaves. That was it. But it's all about power. They just want power.
Where are they trying to take us, though? Like, is there an end result to all this? Like, what is their mecca? What
that house that you got?
Objective? What are they trying to accomplish with all?
Okay,
of
you know
this?
that house you got?
Yes.
Okay. Remember downstairs where me and Judy stayed?
Yes.
Okay. Remember the bedroom part of that?
Yes.
That's what they want you to have. Nothing more. And they want you to stay plugged into the metaverse, and they will tell you what to think, what to eat, when to use the bathroom, because then they can use you as a fucking battery, and you can supply them with all of their elitist crap that they get to do. But you have to stay in your little cubicle, and they will rule over you, and you will be plugged into the metaverse. And that's it. That's the end game. They don't want you to have, you have way too much freedom. The fact that you can go outside and go kayaking, they don't like that.
But here's my question. Here's the part that is puzzling. They think it's for the greater good.
No,
right?
they don't. No,
they're like, this is for your protection.
Not the ones running it. No.
This is to help you. I'm talking about your average. I'm talking about.
Oh, the Alyssa Milano? Yeah.
I'm talking about the useful idiots, so to speak, that Lennon described. I'm talking about the people here, the people that support this. Right. What is their main objective? What do they think this is going to? What do they think all this is going to transpire into?
Utopia. every single person will be completely rich and have every single thing. It's not going to work out, but they think it will.
Okay.
Like they
Okay.
think everybody can have $100 billion. Hey, if I'm working at McDonald's, why can't I get $100 billion? Bill Gates has it. Why can't I have it?
Okay, so they don't really know what they're doing, but the establishment ruling class of the Democratic Party, they know what they're doing.
I would say about 20% of the people that actually run the Democratic Party, people like Hillary and Bill and Barack, those fuckers know what they're doing. They got all into that Saul Alinsky thing and pure power. They really believe that they are better than everyone else. They're smarter than I mean, Barack has said it in speeches. You know, sometimes we gotta think for you. You know, it's like, screw you, dude. But he believes it. Bill believes it. Hillary believes it. Elizabeth Warren believes it.
Joe Biden, does he believe it?
No, Joe's stupid. Joe's an idiot. Joe's always been an idiot. Joe was picked out back in the 70s by the people that was Delaware. Is that where he's from?
Yes.
And they just said, "Oh, we can run this fool." So they got him to be senator, and he's just
he looks good on TV. You know, he's presentable. I
mean, dude, the guy can't give a speech without looking like a buffoon. And I'm talking about back then. You know, that's why when we did him on our Insanity Island cartoons, I couldn't think of a good way to do his voice. It just anything I did sounded too intelligent. So I just did spitting with subtitles because that's what he is. He's a stupid man. He says stupid things. He always has. I'm surprised he hasn't accidentally blurted out the codes to the nukes yet.
Yeah.
Brag, he brags, you know. No, I'm serious. I'm not joking. I'm not joking this time. Hey, I'll challenge you to push-ups. I know the codes. I'll challenge you to push-ups. Only stupid humans talk like that.
So Pendo, what do you see happening? That okay, we get fired up about it. We like to talk about it. We like to say, "Oh my gosh, this is bad for the country." But at the end of the day, does it really have an impact on our daily lives, and will it have an impact on our future?
What?
If the Democrats just stay in charge and power for the end of time?
Well, yeah, if you want to live in that cubicle, because that's where it's going.
Do you realistically think that could happen here? What happened in Venezuela, Cuba, China, Russia? Can that happen here, though?
Hey, gee, I wonder if the FBI will ever be turned against its own people and go after people for going to freaking teacher meetings. I wonder if that would, oh, that's right, it already happened. Gee, I wonder if they'd ever go after a former president at his private, oh, that's right, it already happened. So, yeah, I do.
Those are good points.
Dude, they will just go in to, like, Todd's bank account. Just out of, he'll be on a list. They'll just go get his money.
Yeah, man. If you're on a list, now, here's what establishment Republicans. Let's talk about the establishment. Okay, we talk about the establishment Democrats. We know what they're after. We know what they want. They want power. They want private property. They want all our. Okay, let's talk about the establishment Republicans.
They want to see the table.
If you and I see it, and the Republican Party is supposed to be party to prevent all this, right? Why do you have establishment Republicans still staying in power? Mitch McConnell being the prime example. He is the epitome of an establishment Republican, is he not, Mitch McConnell? I mean, he supported that rhino Alaskan Republican who votes Democrat half the time, supporting and gave her all the money, and didn't Murkowski and wouldn't give it to more conservative Republicans. I mean, we know what Mitch McConnell is. He is firmly an establishment Republican. Why are they still in power?
Oh, they barely are. Why do you think Lindsey Graham put forth that stupid, which could have torpedoed? It probably had a lot to do with it too. When he put out that stupid bill proposing that to make abortion illegal nationwide right before the midterms. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Well, I can
You think
explain
that
why
hurt?
he
You
would do
think
that.
you think that hurt the Republicans?
I think he
Certain-
was trying to make it where we didn't win.
Why would Lindsey Graham do that?
He's got his seat. He doesn't care.
Because
He
he's
want-
kind of in on it. He's kind of in on it. So
Well, this
my
is what it
question
is.
the big question
What-
is:
No,
are
no, 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 hold on.
establishment-
Yeah, this is
Are
important.
establishment
Hold
are
on,
establishment
hold on,
Republicans
Tim,
kind of
Tim. This is important. Lindsey did this because he is not part of the Trump part of the Republican Party. He's establishment. He didn't want Trumpers to run the Congress. He'd rather go ahead and let the Democrats keep power because he's got his seat and they'll just win it the next time. That's how Lindsey Graham thinks. So he purposely, there is no other explanation for him putting forth that bill at that moment, right then, except to torpedo the Republicans. He knew they didn't have the votes. Why would you put it here now? We don't have the Senate. We don't have the House yet. So why would you put that there to go for a vote right then? You know it's going to fail. Why don't, if you're going to do that, why not, if you mean it, why don't you wait until we get the House and maybe the Senate and then do it? But you didn't.
That's an interesting observation.
You
So
did it to hurt us.
our establishment, my question then is, are establishment Republicans in on it? And if they are, why?
To keep your little seat. But it's like it's better to rule in hell than serve in heaven. In other words,
Uh,
this way they get a little bit of power. The Democrats throw them some chops at the table. They get to hang out and go to the parties. The New York Times says nice things about them, and they like that. Bottom line is they're no better than the Democrats. No better. So
are they
didn't want-
worse?
they
Some
didn't
would
want-
argue they might even be worse because you
Yeah,
really don't know.
That's like a Trojan horse kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
They did
so
not want to lose that power over the party to the Trump people, and so
we've
they
got
did
this,
everything they could.
we've got this date stamped, November 28th, 2022. What do you think the landscape of the political and economic environment will be 5 years from now?
Oh God, I have no idea. I don't. What damage is he going to do to the country by then? The borders are about to be full open, and they're just letting it happen. But what is that? What is that? The law there that what's it's a number of something. Title some is it 42?
Yeah,
That's
something
about
like
to
that.
go out, and as soon as that goes out, they're just going to flood in, like we don't even have a border. Which, by the way, is illegal, and he should go to jail for that because technically, by aiding and abetting that, he's committing crimes. Biden is by doing that. He's aiding and abetting the invasion of our country. Of course, if you say invasion, you're a racist.
More dependency and more votes
For the Democrat. They want a one-person. They want a one-party system. So they're basically replacing white people with brown and black people that get free, that want free shit.
Have you heard the term uniparty?
No,
What is this term? Okay, so a
that
lot of
doesn't
people
sound
are,
good.
a lot of people are talking about a uniparty, meaning the establishment Republicans are no different from the establishment Democrats. They're basically the same. And the
Well, yeah,
establishment Republicans are in charge of the Republican Party, the establishment Democrat. So do you think that there is kind of a uniparty thing going on?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, in a way. I mean, I don't think it's official or anything, but it's like the Democrats will let the Republicans pretend that they have power every few years, as long as they don't actually do anything. And for years, they never did. I mean, it was Trump that did all that stuff. It was from Reagan, and it took all the way to get to Trump before we had another Republican that did something, that actually governed like a Republican. I mean, I remember when Trump got up and left that meeting with the Russians, he's going to cause World War III. What he did ended up destroying the Soviet Union without firing a shot.
You talking about what Reagan did?
Yeah. He got it from those nuclear meetings because basically they wanted everything. We're going to give us nothing. And He just said, "See you later." You know, a Democrat would have said, "Okay, sure, I'll sign whatever." You know, Carter would have signed it.
Oh yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah.
There would still be a Soviet Union today.
Reagan was a great president, no doubt about it. Okay, so any other before we sign off, any other final thoughts on this episode of Insanity Island, Mr.
Go
Pendarvis?
Dogs. Georgia's going to win the national championship.
Go Dogs.
You know what I
Go
don't like though? You know what's not good? I don't even want to play the SEC championship game now. It doesn't mean anything.
It's kind of useless now.
It's 100% useless. LSU's not going. Even if they win, they're not going to go.
That's
And
right.
Georgia is going to go if they win or lose. So
well, exactly.
why play the game? And the
There's
game is
no way
literally
LSU can
useless
go,
right now.
and there's no way Georgia will not go. Yeah, it's kind of a strange because LSU, had they beat Texas A&M,
They'd probably be in there right now.
yeah,
But they
they'd
would
just-
be number 4 right now.
but boy, man, they screwed it up by losing to A&M. I mean, just screwed it up. What are you
Messed up
going
their
to do?
whole season. And Georgia has no reason to care. Because I don't want them to hurt anybody.
Yeah,
before
what are
they
they
go into
playing
the
for?
playoffs.
What are they playing for? I mean,
Nothing.
they got a seat at the table no matter what.
You know what, though? If they do win, they will undoubtedly go in at number 1, and they can play the number 4 team. So
True,
they got that.
true. They got
And who would that
Which will
be? Who would that be? Who would that be?
Either USC
USC.
or Ohio State or Alabama.
Well, I think it'll be USC because I think they're going to win theirs. They're playing a 4-loss team in their championship
It'll
game.
probably be USC.
Can you imagine a
Ohio-
Georgia USC playoff game?
It's a coin toss between is it going to be USC or Ohio State? Because what if Michigan loses?
That's true. I don't think they will. But they could.
Could.
They could.
Who's Michigan playing in their conference title? Who
Oh
do they
God,
play?
I can't remember. I can't
Is
remember.
it Penn State? I'm not sure. So it'll be interesting to see.
Is it
Okay,
Idaho?
I don't think it's Idaho. Okay, so and here concludes another exciting episode.
Remember to hit stuff on the bottom, the buttons and stuff.
The stuff of here another episode of Santa. It's insane.
Here, I'll get Doug to edit that.
Okay, talk to you later.
Later, man.